What's going on, guys? Welcome to What If I Was My Hero Academia. His quirk is just something called wind distortion. He can create wind from his hands, air blasts, like Futon Nekusa. He can shoot wind from his mouth, look. I'm gonna say he shoots out a great breeze. I'm gonna say he shoots out a wind blast from his mouth as he goes. I'm gonna say he shoots a wind gale palm whenever he shoots it from his hand. I'm gonna call it soar. He develops a move, and his main move is called Soaring Fist. He shoots a quick air bullet, which hits them in the stomach and really hurts them. So let's get into the UA entrance exam. But we're not going to, because he's not going to be in there. He's going to be a transfer student right after the US, right on the USJ arc. As I would introduce the new transfer student in Christian and say, I'm Christian, nice to meet you all. Bakugo says, what's your quirk, loser? Christian smiles and closes his eyes, as then his hair starts to flow up. As then a giant gust of wind blows everyone out of their seats as they go, woo! As he drops his quirk going. Deku says, amazing, a wind quirk? I've never seen one before. Because no one in the My Hero series has a wind quirk, I don't know why. Besides that one dude from Katsubutsu, from Shiketsu High. So then they tell him that they're going to the USJ, as when they head in, Christian would light his fist with he has gloves on, so he would light his fist with air. He can also fly, going, taking my time on my ride. When it would start and the villains would come, they'd also go to their spots. Christian would be with Midoriya in the water. Christian says, alright guys, I got this. He flies into the air and goes, dun, 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 as he punches so many wind bullets into the water. As they start to hit all the villains, as he goes, out of my way, as he goes, as he jumps into the water and blasts himself down to the bottom, as he stands there going, with the wind, he gives himself air, as he starts to spin around with his air punches, creating a whirlpool, as all the villains get sucked into it. Deku increases the force of the whirlpool with a one-for-all full cowling smash. I mean, a one-for-all smash. Christian's spinning even faster as he goes, as he flies out of the top doing like a T-pose, as then he finds one of the villains and goes, ow, flip. He shoots it out, which hits actually Tomura in the back. He goes, the Nomu would blitz Christian with a punch, but he would catch. He'd go, as he picks him up and gets ready to throw him on the boat, but he realizes Midoriya isn't there and Tsuyu and Mineta are. He goes, suplex! As he throws him, dumps him into the whirlpool. Christian, as somehow Christian can walk on water. He goes, the Nomu runs on the fastest. Christian catches him, going, as then he's blasted back. He lands on his feet and actually skids his feet with air and punches Tomura on the face with a soaring fist as he goes. Then he slides, going. The Nomu rushes at him as Christian catches both of his things and wraps his Nomu's arm around his head, around his arm around the Nomu's head. He goes and lifts the Nomu into the air and suplexes him, going as the whole ground shakes. As he goes, I'll show you what true power is. He goes, as lightning starts to swirl around him, wind starts to. He goes, Max Whirlwind! A humongous, if you know the Max Whirlwind move from Pokemon Sword and Shield, he goes, Unleashed! As a humongous whirlwind defeats most of the villains, even Tomura gets defeated, who's launched into the portal. All Might would not need to come, which means his timer is a little bit longer. Now it's time for his fight. Now it's time for the sports special, as I would announce. And the first one, Christian's just flying through the stadium as he goes, meow. Next would be the cavalry battle. Christian would say that he kind of wants to be on Bakugo's team. Bakugo says whatever, as Christian says, I can lift you up. As he says, but then he realizes that Bakugo's a complete jerk and doesn't really want to be in his team. So he asks Todoroki, and Todoroki says that his team's full, so then he just goes to Midoriya and says, as Midoriya starts floating, he goes, whoa! Christian says, hi, Midoriya, as he's holding him up in the air. He goes, want to team up with me? He goes, sure. Uraka? Uraka says, sure, Deku, as she's right in front of his face. He starts to blush, and Christian says, ship. It says, come on, guys. He says, we don't technically necessarily need to team up with more than 4 people. As Mei Hatsumi goes, great, her. And when it starts, he throws them all into the sky. As he uses wind force to keep them in the air. As Kirsten shoots a soaring fist, and just shoots he goes, Futa Nekusa! And he shoots a wind gale palm, which hits another team, and the things magically fall into his hand as he wraps them around Midoriya's head. And that's basically it. Now let's go to the next one, which is... Actually, no, guys, we're going to scrap this. His power is going to be water. He has water manipulation. He can manipulate water. Let's get into this. So he'd get into the UA easily. We're not going to go over the exam because I've gone over that way too many times, and that's the part that makes me quit my what ifs. So so let's just get on to the exam. Christian would just flood the entire thing, going as that would be it. Next would be the next part. Christian would develop something called water shuriken. He can create these water shurikens from his hands as he goes. Oh, you know what? Screw the what if. I'm tired of doing this shit.